Hello everyone, welcome back to the West Coast for another Farming Simulator 17 video. In today's video we are going to continue plowing and hopefully, we are able to start seeding. The wet crop symbol has gone away, so we are going to seed field number 15, finish seeding that. We are going to continue seeding. I do have some plans on what I'm going to seed in field number 10. If you remember, we talked about that a little bit at the end of last episode, and I have come to a decision on that. But what I'm doing right now is I am creating a headland for the worker in field number 14 with the plow, because he is at the end where there is stuff to run into and get himself stuck, so I don't want that happening. So I'm just creating a headland. Probably go 2 passes. That seems to be the lucky number. So we are again using the fence 724. I have decided that the 724 is staying when we do the tractor swap, and I'm probably going to be switching out the 716 instead, because our cultivator does need a little bit more horsepower to run, I believe, because that tractor seems to struggle with it. So we might switch out tractors in this episode if we have time, but seeding is priority. We need to get all of our seeding done before the end of spring. So after we do this, we will go and let a worker finish off this field, and we will go finish where the voucher left off. So we are also going to be hiring a worker to do cultivations. Normally I wouldn't start the cultivating this early. Well, actually, I don't think it'll matter. We may wait a little. We may just wait a little bit longer to let the plow get a little bit farther ahead. Because last episode, I remember we really didn't plow this field much at all. I did attempt a time lapse last video, so if you would comment in this video how it went and how you guys liked it, and I will read your feedback. Just let me know how you liked it and if you'd like to see more of them. So we'll hire a worker. Go run over to the Valtra at field 15. Jump over the fence. Yeah, I don't think that's our field. I think this one is. So we are going to finish seeding this in canola since it is dry enough, and technically now the ground temperature is warm enough. So we are also going to have to fertilize these fields at least once before too long. And then once they hit their second growth stage, we will fertilize again. And once they hit their final growth stage, we will fertilize one final time. So we are still set to canola. Unfold this. The engine has revved up since we are unfolding. So we will lower this. I think this is going to need a more powerful tractor also. So if anything, this tractor as well is going to go, and we will keep the... Actually, I think this one's actually more powerful than the New Holland, so the New Holland is still going to be the one that gets traded in, especially since I'm going to be buying a Ford TW. I think I've decided on 35. So we'll just finish up these last little sections that he couldn't get to due to the rain. And I think this will be perfect for another time lapse. I'm not just going to start doing a lot of time lapses now. I will still do some jump cuts and do work off screen. But I think this is... Well, actually, this doesn't really seem big enough for a time lapse, so we'll just complete this off screen, and then we'll be right back. So we just have these 2 little areas left to finish off, and then we will take this back to the farm and go set off the cultivator, and we are going to probably bring the sprayer down here and spray this really fast just to get fertilizer down before the first growth stage. So we'll just fold this up, drive down to the gate, and turn back to our farm. So we will just go ahead and look to see between this, oh, this is heavy, Between this and the New Holland, which one is more powerful? The Valtra is 2 horsepower more powerful. So we do need the powerful tractors. So that just made my decision final that the New Holland is going to be the one going. We'll just leave that open since we'll be right back. Oh, sorry, car. I didn't see you there. Oh, it looks like I'm currently running into him. Collision! First collision of the series. Because I can't see around the gate. Oops. So then we'll turn here, back to our farm. So you're on a private road, we can turn off our flashers now. So I'm probably just going to park this in the shed since we will be taking it back out very soon. So, it's not this one, it's the next one. It's this gate right up here. So since that field has already been fertilized and has nothing growing in it, that one is really no rush. I'll just park this here for now. We won't be needing the combine soon. So we will run back to the New Holland and refill it so that we can go and fertilize that field. Here it is, right over here. Start it up. Refill it. Refill the back tank. Well, actually, which one's filling right now? It must have been the front one. Well, actually, I don't know. So it was the front one that was just now filling. Maybe? This is odd. Oh, I didn't have the right one selected, so it was the back one filling. Just so used to using the back one that I just had selected and didn't actually know you had to change it. So we will actually come this way to avoid the main road, as I believe this is our field right here. It is. Open the gate. Come down here. I don't think that gate, it's not, so we don't need to close it. So this field shouldn't take too long to fertilize, it's not too large. So we'll start right here. I wish this fertilizer sprayer could move a little bit quicker than 7 miles an hour. So when it doesn't, it takes a long time for the larger fields, and we can't really afford a larger one right now like the big self-propelled ones. Those can go fast and they hold a lot more. So we will have to make do with what we have. Need to go set off the cultivator again. And put it sort of in the middle so that it doesn't think it needs to turn the wrong way and finishes the job really fast. Run back over here. I hope I didn't leave that running. I didn't. So we will fertilize this field. I kind of have this field, like I said, as priority right now since it already has stuff in it. I don't want to miss a fertilizer stage, and especially since we didn't plow this one, miss a fertilizer stage and lose a lot of yield. So that's why this one is taking priority, and then field 10 will be next in seeding. I have decided, if you remember last episode, I was wanting to start off with pigs again, like I have in all my other series. So, and pigs need sugar beets and potatoes, and I really don't want to be buying the pallets, mainly because we don't have a flatbed anything right now to move them. So I've decided to plant a portion of field 10 in potatoes and the rest in either wheat or barley, since you already have a canola field, which is this one. And pigs require wheat or barley, one of the two. They require, I think, soybeans, canola, or sunflowers, one of those three, and then they either need potatoes or sugar beet for the rest. So since we have canola already planted, and we are going to be planting probably wheat, and plus we need wheat because it'll give us straw, and then the potatoes. The potatoes are strictly going to be for the pigs. They're not worth enough, in my opinion, to sell, and I think the pigs would be worth more, and they'd be a better opportunity to put our potatoes towards them, because when you have the pigs, you get more pigs because they reproduce. So then you can sell those. Like if you only buy 10 and you end up with 20, you profit from those 10. Especially if you're not having to buy anything, you make I think, probably a bigger profit since you make it yourself and you're not paying someone else to make it for you. So what's helper be blocked by? I can only imagine. Once we get around, we'll go check. So I haven't quite decided how much I'm going to plant yet, but we are going to outright buy the planter because I do plan to do this, and I think the pigs will probably take up all of the potatoes every year we plant them. So I have decided that it would be a better idea to outright buy it, and then we'll probably just lease the harvester since the harvester is so expensive. So it looks like we're going to have to cultivate a headland for him also, or he will keep wrecking. It's not a good thing. The little fence 716, that will probably be going away very soon, if not this episode, the next episode. Now, why would he think he's done if he parked facing an unplowed area? That doesn't even make sense to me. I'd like to know the reasoning behind why the workers do what they do, like why the workers think they can be done as they're facing themselves towards an entire unplowed field. That's what I want to know. It's like, that wouldn't even make sense to me. In real life, they would see that that needs plowed, and they would go plow it, not just stop like, oh, I'm done, I don't want a job anymore. They would keep going and doing what they were hired to do. But this obviously isn't real life. So we'll turn around here. I'm thinking this might be another canola field, so we could sell the excess canola. And wheat isn't worth that much, so it doesn't really make sense to me to do a whole relatively large field in wheat when it won't all be used for the pigs, because like what we don't use for pigs, we will sell before the next harvest. So we will store the products for a year unless we get a great demand. Then I'll have to kind of think about how much I want to sell and then work from there. So I'm hoping this will be enough headland for the worker to realize that he can actually turn around without wrecking into things. And that might be too much thought to back up, but we'll try it. We'll just come back down here and send him off again. Coming down here. Lift the cultivator so we don't cultivate what we've already cultivated. And set him off and see if he can do what he's supposed to. Go back to the New Holland, and I'm debating time-lapsing this since this is a sort of large field. Well, and last time-lapse I'll like to get you guys' opinion, but I think I made that one a little bit too slow, so I may, if I time-lapse this one, need to make it just a little bit faster so it's not too long. So we will finish this field and we will be back when we finish. So we are just about finished this field. We just have this one little area left to do. The workers in field 14 are still acting up, so we are going to have to go and correct them. I think that is going to mean plowing another headland at the other end of the field for the plow, obviously. So there's that field all fertilized at stage 1. Now where's our gate? I have no idea where our gate is. I think it might be up in this corner. Here it is. So that field is all nice and fertilized for the harvest. I'll just leave that open since the gate down by the road's closed, although I really should then close the gate at the main farm. Go find the plow. Oh, it was the cultivator that did that time. Oh, they both did. Awesome. They both drove themselves into a fence. How smart of them. So it looks like we're going to have to plow a headland again, because the headlands seem to do the trick for workers. Give them something to realize they don't have to crash into everything they see. So I'll just plow this, and then we will begin seeding field number 10. So we have just finished doing the headlands. We will see how that turns out, because as I was cutting more headlands, the plow got himself stuck again. So I really have no idea how that's going to work out. I'm hoping it works out fine, but we'll just have to wait and see. So we are going to need to go to the store to pick up some attachments, i.e. a potato seeder. So while we are down there, we are probably going to swap out this tractor for the TW35. First, let's see how much horsepower the potato seeder requires, so that we can plan accordingly. Sewing machines. That is 3 meters. That one's 6 meters. Requires 170 horsepower, so we are going to have to upgrade. So we are actually going to keep the other front loader, because you can never have too many front loaders, in my opinion at least. So we will head to the machine shop and trade in machines. This has been a good tractor while we had it, but we need a little bit more horsepower for the cultivator and for the potato seeder. So we will head into Riverton and pick up our new tractor. So we have just arrived at the store with the New Holland T6140, which is currently worth $108,831. So we are now up to $179,000. Let's first see if we have a loan. We will go ahead and pay off our loan so we can quit worrying about that and quit getting charged interest for it. So tractors, I'm using the Ford TW hack from the mod contest. You can get the TW25 engine setup or TW35, and we are going with the 35 because that gives us our required horsepower. 65, 70, and default tires are the different tire options. I'm not sure what the difference is, so we're just going to go with default to save money. I just prefer the light gray grill. I don't know why. And we are going to purchase dual beacons, so that brings our grand total to $35,500. So we purchased that. And then sewing machines, I decided for the Grimmy GL860 Compacta that plants potatoes. So 6 meter working width, $140 a day, requires 170 horsepower, which is perfect because our new tractor we just bought was $187. So $58,000. This is not a cheap piece of equipment. So here is our new tractor. Whoa, that thing's big. The TW35 Ford. Very nice. The winner, or the creator of this, has earned himself a commercial DLC, the Modern Classics pack. So we just got in the TW35 and started it up, and we are going to hook it up to this beast of a trailed machine. Exactly why we have beacons, because we are going to be so enormous. We are going to need to let people know we are coming. This is an awesome setup. Now let's see if we can make it back without wrecking anything. I have confidence that we can. So we will turn on the flashers also, since we do move even slower than the other tractors. Long nose I have to get used to. This is an extremely detailed mod. Highly recommend it. This is where it gets really, where it requires a lot of attention to detail, getting through these narrow spots and areas like this. I actually don't think I'm hitting anything. The torque of this engine is impressive. Once we get out of the town, it shouldn't be too bad, as we will have wider roads. Sometimes I wish we could pull over. So we are out of the town, so we shouldn't have any issues anymore. This tractor does have IC in it, so you can open the doors, turn on the lights, and change the dash display from speed to engine revolutions per minute, which is nice. This takes up the entire road plus some, or the entire lane plus some. So I will see you once we get back to the farm. So as you can see, we are almost back to the farm. This thing barely fits on our farm road. I didn't expect it to be near this wide, even folded up. I can only imagine what the 3-point hitch one, how wide that one was, since that one doesn't even fold. Some areas you can barely get by. So we can turn the flashers off, turn nice and wide, but not too wide that the outside parts of the seeder hit anything, because that would not be good since it is a brand new seeder. So let's see if I can fill this up here. I'm really hoping I can, and I should be able to. Alright, I can. So we are not going to fill it completely, since we are not going to be seeding much. We'll maybe go to 1200. We are not going to be filling it with fertilizer, since we have already fertilized. So 1203. And that cost us $1,500. So we will go put this new machine and tractor to the test. I love this tractor. I love the old Fords. Probably some of my favorite tractors out there. Besides the... If I had to pick two favorite tractors, they would be the Ford tractors in general, and the... I think it was called the new generation John Deeres, or whichever ones had the 6076 engines in them. I absolutely love those tractors. Out of those, if I had to pick one, the 60 series would be my favorite. I love the looks of the 60 series. So we will unfold this beast and begin doing what it does best, planting potatoes. It's really not as massive as I thought it would be unfolded. But what I don't know yet, which is what we're going to have to look at, assume I can line this up, is how much field we want to plant, keeping in mind that the harvesters don't have the widest heads. So we are at field number 10 right now. So I'm thinking maybe 3 passes. We'll have to see how much that does. I'm going to do 2 passes for sure. The true test of this beast's power. Engage. So it's running. Effortless. That's why I love these old tractors. I can pull it effortlessly. I can almost guarantee you, even if this tractor is underpowered, it would still pull it flawlessly. It's interesting how the rows are being created like that. I wonder why. Must just be the field texture, nothing major. So this will probably be the last thing we are able to do in this episode, since it is getting close to nighttime. I think we are definitely going to be doing at least 3 passes at a minimum. I think I way underestimated on my seed content. So as you can see, we way underestimated when we purchased our seed. This is going to cover just about 2 rows, and we still have probably about 4 or 5 more rows to go. So I would say we're probably going to need, we'll buy in increments of 1,200 to minimize the potatoes sitting in the planter over the winter. I have decided that when we plant this field, we are also going to leave a little strip down the middle so that we don't overseed one area. So if need be, I could just intentionally empty out the seeder so that we don't have any sitting in it, since I am already going to have to leave some open. So we will go refill this and just leave it unfolded so we don't have to wait. This tractor pulls it very well. I looked this up. This TW35 was made from 1983 to 1986, which I think is one of the shortest runs of the TW series. So I think I would have to say out of all of the TW series, this is the most rare. So I'm even more glad I bought it, because I like rare tractors. Crawlers, I really like the crawler tractors. So we'll go ahead and buy 1,200 more liters. We are running really low on money. I probably shouldn't have paid off all of that loan. So 1233 is close enough. I'll just come out here and turn around. This field probably is going to get turned into... I don't know what I'm going to turn that into yet. Because apparently in seasons grass rots, and we don't have anything to feed the grass to yet. So I'll probably just turn it into hay bales and sell it. We'll also need the hay baler, which we don't have enough money to afford right now. So I'm starting to think selling the other baler was not a good idea, since we don't have enough money for another one. So we will just go ahead and plant these last rows. We'll probably have to finish it at the beginning of next episode. This tractor is made by, I think, Matt XJS, and like I said, he earned a DLC proposal from winning one of the mod contest categories, and he's going to be making a Modern Classics pack, which consists of, I think, the Case IH Maxims, the 5000 Maxim series, the first generation of JCB Fast Tracks, a New Holland Combine Harvester, a JCB Telehandler, and then various older implements like sewing machines, cultivators, plows, etc. So that's something to look forward to. There is a video of his proposal on the Giant Software forum, which gives an outline of when everything is going to be coming out. The DLC, I believe, is scheduled for March 28th, 2018. And it has a timeline of when each machine will be done, when he plans to release it, and all that. So if you want to see that, go check that video out. I think the forum thread is called, like, DLC Proposals Next Steps or something like that. So you can go check that out if you want to see. There actually ended up being 2 winning proposals, the Modern Classics pack and the Grimmy pack. I think the Grimmy pack was made by FSI Modding, and I forget what their mod contest entry was. So that will be coming out too. I couldn't understand it because it was in a different language, so I don't know when that's coming out or anything. Watch, I didn't watch it, I take that back. I would have probably been able to read the slideshow, because it was slideshow presentations they made. So thank you all for watching this episode. If you are enjoying this series, please comment, rate, subscribe, and like as usual, and have a nice day, everybody.